Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in.
Okay, so today we're looking at, well, you.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you and the stars. Specifically, February 5th, 2025.
Ah, looking into the future. I like it.
Using a personalized astrology reading, actually.
Fun. Where's this one from?
This is from Tarot by High C.
Hmm.
And whether you're, full on into astrology or not, I think it's always interesting to see what these readings say,
Yeah, totally. It's like even if you don't think planets are gonna tell you your whole destiny,
Right.
there's something about the cycles and the symbolism that I think everyone can connect with on some level.
For sure, yeah. So let's jump in. This reading, it starts off suggesting a pretty chill morning, like really chill.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It actually says to, quote, slow down and catch your breath.
Mm.
Which are the simple things, Find some stability.
Before things get wild.
Baby. There's definitely a contrast, I think, between that grounded morning energy, which makes sense, right, with the Taurus Moon.
Yeah, Taurus is all about stability and grounding and just kind of enjoying those creature comforts.
Exactly. But then the reading goes on to suggest potential shakeups, like in the afternoon. Yeah. Specifically when it comes to, well, relationships, attachments, finances, that kind of thing.
Ooh, shakeups. That sounds a little less chill.
Yeah, a little bit. And it's interesting because it mentions the Taurus Moon conjuncting Uranus around midday.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Can you break that down for us, those of us who don't speak astrology fluently?
Sure, sure. So the moon, right, rules our emotions, our feeling of security, that kind of thing. And Uranus is all about change. Sudden change, surprises, shaking things up.
Yeah.
And when those two meet up in Taurus, which again is usually pretty stable,
Right.
it's kind of like, imagine you're, strolling through a garden, everything's peaceful, beautiful, and then suddenly, bam, detour, you're thrown off course.
I'm getting whiplash just thinking about it.
Right. It can definitely feel like that. But those detours, they can lead to breakthroughs, like those aha moments.
Oh, right. The reading does mention sudden insights and breakthroughs. Okay, I'm picturing like a literal light bulb moment.
Yeah.
But what might this actually look like for someone, in their everyday life?
Well, with this energy specifically in the area of attachments, it could be a realization about, say, a relationship pattern that keeps repeating. With your partner, you suddenly see why you keep having the same argument or why you get triggered by the same things.
Interesting.
Or it could be a financial thing, like you suddenly see your budget in a completely different light and realize there's a way to save money you hadn't considered before.
Okay, that's practical. I like it.
Yeah, or, I know you're a writer, so maybe for you it'd be like, boom, a story idea hits you out of nowhere.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
Right. So it can really manifest in all sorts of ways. The key is to stay open to those shifts, those sudden changes, rather than trying to resist them.
Go with the flow. Ride the wave.
Exactly. Speaking of shifts, though, there's another big one happening. This is where things get, well, a little spicy.
Oh, spicy how?
Venus is moving into Aries from February 4th to April 12th.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And the reading, it highlights these power keywords, passionate pursuits, bold moves, saying what we want now, not later.
That's Venus in Aries in a nutshell. It's all about going after what you desire, but with that, fiery, impulsive Aries energy.
So we're taking that Uranus energy and amping it up.
Kind of, yeah. It's like throwing caution to the wind. It can be exhilarating, but also, maybe a little risky.
That's exciting, but yeah, I can also see how that much impulsiveness, especially when it comes to, relationships and stuff, could lead to some messy situations.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And the reading does mention some potential downsides. Impatience, irritability, tendency towards, quote, dramatic gestures.
It's important to be mindful during this transit. Imagine you book a last-minute trip totally on impulse. Sounds fun, all right? Then you get there and realize you forgot, basic essentials. It's spontaneous, but also maybe creates unnecessary stress.
Oh, I've totally been there. Packing's not my strong suit.
Yeah, right. So with Venus and Aries, it's all about, being bold, taking action, but also taking a breath before you leap. Remember, not every bright flame is meant to last forever.
Good advice. Choose your battles and your grand gestures wisely.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got this exciting, maybe a little chaotic afternoon energy. But then, as we move into the evening, things seem to chill out again.
Okay, good.
The reading describes the Taurus Moon sextile Neptune as bringing a wave of romanticism.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Does this like soften the intensity of Venus in Aries, do you think?
I think so, yeah. Neptune, it brings this dreamy, idealistic quality to everything. It can help smooth out any, rough edges from earlier in the day, create a more harmonious, peaceful atmosphere.
So maybe a good time for like a quiet night in?
Totally. With the Taurus Moon still present, this could be a perfect time to just indulge your senses, cook a nice meal, listen to some music, spend time with people you love, just soak it all in.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
So to summarize, it seems like February 5th, 2025 is going to be a pretty dynamic day for all of us.
Definitely.
We start with that grounded, stable Taurus Moon energy, and then we've got potential for, some Uranian surprises and breakthroughs in the afternoon.
It'd be exciting.
Yeah. And then finishing off with a romantic, dreamy evening vibe. Quite the journey, huh?
It is. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. And as you move through this day and even into the coming weeks, here's something to think about. How can you, as an individual, harness that bold Venus and Aries energy to go after your passions, your creative goals, while also staying grounded and mindful, like we talked about?
That's a great question. I think we'll leave that for our listeners to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And remember, whether you're a believer or not, it's always fascinating to see how these astrological themes, these energies, play out in our lives.
Absolutely. Until next time.
See you then.